but got the first early blow. He's won the bull. Razma, and electing to start down the bottom of the board. You will see this feature in the match. He
133.
Keep you guessing, switching around the board, and steady start for Latvian.
Now let's talk about the finals he's made previously.
96.
2018, he made the final in Dublin at the City West Hotel, a place he loves to play at. But he lost on that occasion to Max Hopp by 6 legs to 3.
59.
Fast forward a couple of years, in this very room, he made the final in the Autumn Series in 2020.
96.
And he lost out to Peter Wright by 8 legs to 1. He was outclassed that day. If he is to find the win against the world number 2 right now,
57.
for me, he's going to have to add at least 5 on his average.
Yeah, well, Gerwyn Price rarely gets it wrong at the back end of an event.
121.
His own, and like I said, he's rode his luck. He was convincing in the quarterfinals against Dirk van Dijvenbode. His biggest test of the day,
100.
side, was a real high quality affair with Ted Evans in the board final. Both averaged over a ton. But otherwise, it's been pretty plain sailing. There's been a buy in there
58.
as well. Gerwyn Price, the #1 seed. And we didn't have the full complement of the players. We had a buy through the first round.
I was just going to ask you about that, actually, because does that mean that Price has maybe got a bit more energy coming into this
65.
final? He's played one less match?
He's going to feel the fresher in terms of playing less leg. Well, I don't know if it's less legs, less matches, but he's experienced the back end of the events.
105.
Gerwyn Price, he's been umpteen times in comparison to Madars Razma, and Razma, like you said, was outplayed in his previous final against Peter Wright, so the early exchange is important for him here. He needs something to work with.
62.
He could face having his throw broken in the opening leg here.
Double 12 will be that
Game
very
shot.
thing. So he gets the start that he craved. And I have to say, we saw Price in round 2 on this streaming board, where he beat Connor Scott by 6 legs to 3. It wasn't a good game. Price was very deflated
97.
during that 9-leg contest. And he was looking at his hand a couple of times, but maybe coming into this room and then back out to the outside boards where he, I think at the time, he was a bit
99.
more comfortable. That game with Everts that you mentioned, I think that game has given him the confidence to shoot forward today. And of course, I'm not going to say a slice of luck. He's had a full cake of luck.
97.
Yeah. And the match starts just kept coming and coming for Rob Cross and kept going and going.
We can't forget as well that Gerwyn missed some himself. He missed 3
58.
clean darts from 36, and then he eventually takes it on his 5th match dart. It wasn't so much a win, it was just, well, it's over.
123.
But you don't feel Gerwyn Price will pass up this opportunity. Start the match a firm favourite, and I think this is relaxed as he'll feel. He'd have felt edgy in that last semi-final because Rob Cross
134.
was untouchable for the first half at least that match, and then he just wilted and he got edgy, and Gerwyn Price stayed in touch,
144.
but he started brightly here, and Madars Razma knows that already it's early in a final, but you're a breakdown.
58.
And he's about to go 2-0 down. And he knows from the previous final when he didn't get to grips things
Game
early
shot.
against Peter Wright. Peter Wright raced out a comfortable winner, and it'll be going through his mind now, Paul, won't it?
It will, unfortunately, because he hasn't got over the line yet, whereas Gerwyn Price has got across the line in Players' Championships 11 times. It's already a Hall of Fame career, and he's not even close to the halfway point of that career.
115.
He's also banked 6 European Tour victories, 7 TV titles, including that World Championship, of course, behind closed doors
140.
in 2020. So that adds up to 24, and if he does get his 25th today, he'll be able to do what
96.
Gary Anderson couldn't do last week in him trying to bank his 25th Players' Championship. 25 has been an unlucky number 7 weeks ago. Gerwyn Price
134.
that's not the case for him on a day where he's averaged 7 more than his opponent coming into this final.
As well, Paul, there's a little subplot that he could return
56.
to the world #1 spot. If he wins here and wins again tomorrow, he would overhaul Peter Wright and be back at the #1 spot. And Just a little stutter from Gerwyn Price.
I think there was a little spin
99.
of his dart in the finger there, and he wasn't 100% comfortable.
Well,
You don't see him spin it. He brings it back, and it doesn't spin. So when it did, he had the presence of mind to stop.
Well, he did the right thing then. So,
64.
as a player, Paul, we know we've all done it. We throw a dart when it's not gripped properly, and Nathan Aspel, one of the best for re-gripping. Gerwyn Price
88.
just laying at the shot. This is just all too comfortable so far for the world number 2, and it's going to be a double break, and already you fear for Madars Razma.
92.
Looks a bit deflated in leg 3.
Game shot.
And he's 3-0 down. No big celebrations from the Iceman. All he wants to do is win and bank another £12,000.
Yeah. They're just double checking who's throwing first.
Do you know what, Mark? I think that's really smart of Price as well, because if you're not sure, that referee is there for you to ask. You see people now and again
85.
going to the board speculatively, thinking, is it me? I'll just throw. Oh, it's not me. And then you have to withdraw and you go to the back of the cubicle with your tail between your legs.
91.
But that showed a bit of experience there from Price.
Well, all his experience is counting here. There's almost 20 points difference in the averages, but a couple of breaks, that's what's
47.
the important factor here. If Madars Razma was 3-0 down and he was against the darts, he'd feel a little bit more relaxed. I know it sounds strange, but he'll constantly feel the pressure now, and the longer it goes on and he hasn't got a leg,
59.
he'll be worrying about losing to nil. And it's a tough feeling, but it does go through your mind when you can't work your way into a tie.
140.
You look at the stress levels on the faces of these players. Price is playing like there's no pressure on him whatsoever. And I've got a really interesting question to ask you, because ordinarily,
171.
I would say a 177 from Razma. I would say that all the pressure's on Price coming into this game. He's the one that's expected to win. Razma is the one who can have the free roll. However, that semi-final has removed all of that pressure. Now, he's thinking to himself, I shouldn't even be here, so I can just relax and play for an extra 4,000 quid.
100.
Yeah, I don't generally agree with that saying anyway, that Madars wouldn't be under pressure anyway, because he doesn't get to a final often, so when you get there, you want to take your chance, and he'll feel the pressure.
Game
He's
shot.
feeling it more now. 4-0 at Gerwyn Price, and Paul, you make a good point. He looks as relaxed as we've seen him all day. We've only seen this is the 4th time we've seen him on the stream, but it's all going to plan for Gerwyn Price. Had a couple of comfortable victories, including a 6-1 victory over Geert Nenches, but this is a controlled performance as we've seen from Gerwyn Price.
83.
That is so true. The average just a shade over 101. And his opponent, who going into the semi-finals was averaging
134.
88. He did put in a very good performance against Kevin Dutz in the semi-finals. He did control that
140.
game. But this is the exact opposite of that. He's being controlled. Gotta go back down south here on 228.
58.
Razma just needs a comfortable leg, just to help him relax a little bit, because he's probably thinking already his race is run.
140.
And that sounds harsh, but he will be thinking that.
Well, one thing on Gerwyn Price's mind right now is, I want to beat this guy to nil. That's his motivation. He doesn't just want to win. To stay focused and stay on this
70.
trajectory of adrenaline in this quiet room, his motivation is to win to nil. For another big out, he needs double 12.
114.
He fancied that.
It was a well-thrown dart. He knew when that dart left his hand, it was in the vicinity of double 12. It's just the wrong side of the wire. But Razma, well, he's treble 19. Double 19. Great
Game
dart
shot
from Madars Razma. Fair play. Puts his hand up in acknowledgement, but credit to him. He's been facing an absolute barrage of pressure. To dig that out after deviating into the 5. Good holder throw from the Latvian.
140.
Takes a really good finish like that to bring a smile to Price's face, to take him out of his little zone. But that motivation of winning to nil is gone, and you have to re-motivate yourself to something new
99.
now. Whether that's winning 8-1 or 8-2, whatever it is, you don't care. But he doesn't want to be embroiled in the kind of final
134.
with Damon Heta last year, when he was massively down. I think he might have been 6-2 down. And he ended up winning 8-7 with one of the greatest
140.
final comebacks we will ever see. It was a ridiculous standard. This is a lot more than you would expect from
139.
Price playing someone who was over 80 places above in the averages for the day before playing in this last 2 match.
Yeah, that is showing.
98.
Often averages are just a guide, but the evidence is there. The gulf between these two. Gerwyn Price opt-in
60.
to try and leave double 12 again. He did, and this time he was inside the wire. Well, Razma has a chance to make it interesting here now.
It's wrong.
Sorry,
It wasn't 60.
I don't know. I can't remember what I ate. What did I eat?
60, treble 16 is 64 and 12.
Yeah, I left 24.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think they're just having a conflab about what Gerwyn has left.
No,
No, he
76.
went for double 12 and he went inside and he left 12.
Yeah, I left 12. Yeah.
That has been confirmed by the looks of it. And that's just taken Razma out of his zone for a second. And as you said, Mark, this is a huge shot. If he can find it, the match is back on.
Yeah, it's a section of the ball he's comfortable on. Can't find the first treble, and maybe that delay didn't help. It was a big ask anyway.
77.
But Gerwyn Price to cross the halfway mark. Put himself 3 legs away from yet another title. This is awkward.
Game
Gets
shot.
it. Never easy coming down the board, but Gerwyn Price pins a double 3, 5-1, and in complete control. And again, just double checking. Madars darts here. Needs a couple of breaks. Paramount, he holds here first.
He must. You can't let Gerwyn Price get 6-1 up on you.
91.
He's not like certain players who get bored. Even in finals, some players have said they get bored when they get a big lead.
83.
Price is not like that. He's ruthless.
I was never one to get bored in a final.
Yeah, you and me both. Stressful affairs.
It would be
140.
nice just to have a relaxed final, wouldn't it? And this is what it is for Gerwyn Price. Just, I wouldn't say going through the motions because he's playing well,
140.
but he's used his experience, just get out in front and give himself the opportunity to dominate the final. He's averaging around about 104, and
60.
based on what we've seen from Madars Razma, he's not going to compete with that. Based on what we've seen today and from him in the past, but again, though, Madars
121.
Razma should be proud of his efforts. We're writing him off here, but it'd be some turnaround. But job well done if he does go on and lose his final. He's in the mix for the world match play.
Yeah, very much so.
58.
You beat Richie Burnett in your one PDC title final, didn't you, in this country?
Naughty final as well. Wasn't the best standard, but yeah.
You could say it was a bad final because it was won in bad
137.
But it was a scruffy game, and it was complete opposite of this, and it just caged you. But you get finals like that, and finals about getting the job done. If you could do it in style, like Gerwyn Price is doing here, great. But it is about winning.
62.
And he's a serial winner, and he's at it again here. 6-1.
2 10s it is. Turning into double 5. Yeah,
Game
it's
shot.
good. 6-1. And Razma is sensing history repeating itself because the last time he was in a final in this room, he lost by 8 legs to 1 to the person that Gerwyn Price is trying to usurp at the top of the rankings
81.
by the end of the weekend.
Well, Gerwyn Price, I shared a taxi back with him last night, and he said, if I can win the 2, I'll go back to world number 1. And just that mentality to come here to win them both, Paul.
118.
Because we've done it in the past, you probably think, I can get a couple of quarters, but the different mentality of a serial winner, Gerwyn Price, comes to
100.
win every time he gets on the hockey.
Yeah, he wants to do everything but lose. Maybe losing is a motivating factor.
140.
You don't want it.
And he was visibly upset when he lost, well, down when he lost to Johnny Clayton the other night in the Premier League. He almost turned that round. He trailed 5-3.
96.
Had a dart to win it 6-5, and you could see the frustration getting to him, but he's regrouped. And many thought he may not enter these Players' Championships just
99.
based on the injury and the location. He might just want some time at home, but not to be. And so far, it's proven to be a correct decision for Gerwyn Price.
Maybe, just
140.
maybe, that factor of him going for the world number 1 spot and Peter Wright taking the weekend off was one of the reasons why he chose to stay. However, still a job to
58.
do. 84 away. It's a good number for Price because it involves a bullseye. A bullseye
Game
which
shot.
he takes for 7-1. Razma, 7 straight against one of the best players on the planet. Talk about a mountain to climb.
I don't think he's going to do it, Paul.
I don't either, but if he does get close, I'll be the
100.
first person to congratulate him.
But credit to him, Madars Razma. He's been constantly under pressure here. It's a job well done for him today. We expect him to go on and lose his
97.
final, but we said it was open for someone to have a run, Paul, and Madars Razma's took it. We've seen Kevin Deutz have a great run.
140.
If he does lose this one, it doesn't matter by what length. It doesn't count on the match play race, but what he has done today is put him in the 11th
101.
spot for the match play race in the qualifying list. That's above Keane Barry, that's above Bunting, Ricky Evans, Dolan and Adrian Lewis.
60.
And the gap between himself and Adrian Lewis in that 16th spot, £4,000. That's the equivalent of a semi-final.
Decent gap. Obviously, the Euro Tour's an easy
77.
way to close that down, but that's based on your qualifying. There's still a long way to go, and this by no means guarantees his spot, but puts him in a great position. There's obviously tomorrow to play as well.
Yeah, he has
47.
qualified for Graz, which is big for Madars Razma.
Yeah, so he's in one of the upcoming European Tours, so it's a good day's work, and he'll keep chipping away. Gerwyn Price not finished the job yet, but
83.
He might find himself seeded tomorrow as well.
that's important as well. And the advantage of being a seed, whether you're top seed or bottom seed, you know when your first game is. So you don't know
95.
the opponent, but Madars Razma should get a chance at 59, and he is going to. You could argue he deserves another leg here.
56 left?
Well, it's got to be treble 19-1-1.
Well,
66.
66.
I won't be surprised.
My advice
19.
to you, Madars, is get rid of it, because Price is not going to miss double 12.
Credit to him.
Game shot.
And a sarcastic cheer for Madars Razma, but fair play to him.
Yeah, look at the glasses half full there, Mark, because it's not gonna get to an 8-1
140.
again. But that's the first brick in the wall. Get the 7-3, and anything's possible. All we've got to do is look at that semi-final between Price and Cross. That was ludicrous.
Yeah, and to be fair,
96.
you didn't see it happening there because Rob Cross was playing some of the best starts we've seen today. He was dominating Gerwyn Price. It looked like there's only going to be one winner.
100.
Don't see that turnaround happening here, but Gerwyn Price knows he's just got to do a professional job and close out this final.
This is more like it from Madman.
121.
And lucky with the last one.
Should go 17s here. Then up to the 18s.
38.
It's what I like to call the Aspinall route, because he was the first person who made that the norm, where you go 17s first, then the 18s on the double switch. It's just really good tactics.
100.
Fancy something big is coming from Price here, though. It's usually where he makes his move. And there it is.
He called it, Paul
180.
Nicholson, and he's going to get some darts to close out. Be a fine victory for him today. He's not been at his best, but he's done enough.
100.
He's rode his luck. And for Gerwyn Price to wrap up this final 3-4 double top, and to cap off a fine day's work, double 10. Just regripping, we saw that earlier on.
23.
Still not over the line.
Start the count of missed match darts. This is what we did with Cross. It's 2 for Price. Are we going to leg number 11? Double 18 to prolong the final.
Game shot.
Beautifully executed. So now he only needs 5 more.
Wow. Key there. That was a breaker throw from Madars Razma. And Gerwyn Price, little head shake. It's never nice being up there when you miss match darts, but Gerwyn Price won't be overly concerned yet. If there's another hole going to break, then
171.
there's something for him to think about. And Madars Razma,
What he's playing with right now,
140.
you and I both know this, Webby. He's playing with pride. He wants to go out, if he's to go out, with really good quality stuff. He doesn't want to be wilting
48.
and losing 8-1, 8-2 after a horrible visit. He wants to have some good legs and force Price to get over the line with a good leg of darts.
134.
Yeah, make Price win it, and Price has took the darts away from Madars Razma despite that 1-7.
133.
It's almost as good as you on the treble 19 from that World Championship. You got the semi-finals. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
140.
I'd never start down there though, but yeah, he was more of a cover shot for me, but it's just a genuine tactic for Madars Razma, isn't it? So again.
I was going to say he didn't need a treble 19 there, but Price is going to get another look to win this one. 87 away. It could be the bullseye once
84.
again. It could even be 2 darts at double 18.
It is going to be the ball, maybe double 5. Well, it's going to be neither. And Madars Razma for a 3rd consecutive leg here.
36.
A little bit of complacency is creeping in on Gerwyn Price here.
What's happening in front of our eyes right now? Is this a comeback coming? Double 10. Don't give him a shot, Madars. Well
Game
done.
shot.
11 legs in. Things are changing. But that's just for a hold of throw. He's got to keep breaking him.
99.
Last one. But Gerwyn Price will be given plenty to think about if Madars can find a break here. Starting again down the bottom. He got, oh, not on this occasion. He got 3 to start the previous leg. That's okay.
123.
There's going to be so many young players watching this back home. Wherever you're watching.
180.
People are going to be starting to do the Razma, starting on the 57, but Price looking a bit more conventional by getting that maximum. If he can find another one,
98.
he'll have some breathing space.
Well, you can see by the reaction, Paul, there's a little bit of panic starting to creep in. Not panic, getting a bit edgy, Gerwyn Price, but just wants to get
96.
this done now. And he's in a position to throw. Well, he's in a position to win the match again. He's missed the opportunity in the previous leg by not even giving himself a shot.
And he doesn't have to go 19s this route because
60.
with Razma way back, he can go 60 first if he wishes. He's decided to go 19s.
Yeah.
He's going to leave tops. He's going to have 3 darts at it. And I think this could be the end of it.
Yeah, Madars Razma has been spirited.
For me,
Yeah. But he
not working.
Just a bit of an issue with the scoreboard here. Gerwyn Price has got 40 left.
sorry.
What a time for the tablet to fail.
Right.
Price is very well versed in technology.
Price trying to help out.
I think we want to final.
I've
Madars
never
Razma-
seen anything like this in a final.
And Madars Razma's having a little laugh in the background. He probably knows his race is run here.
How many paints?
The thing is, they can't continue to go forward because everything is registered on the system with the stats.
24 left.
No, I got tops left.
We know that Price has left 40
scored.
because of the score he's hit.
No,
Razma is just waiting to hit another shot.
yeah, 86.
We're 1 dart away
But they
from
need to sort this
the
'cause
winner
if
of this
this,
match.
then the board
But if
needs
the
to be
tablet
working.
is frozen, the game is frozen too.
What we can do?
Madars Razma
I don't know when someone needs to.
has just asked Gerwyn Price, should we call it a draw? Yeah, there we see. And we just have to get this amended.
This is where you just want someone to come in with a Sharpie or any sort of branded marker and a whiteboard so we can finish this up. Now there's a scene I never thought we would look at. 2 players waiting,
No, just
and we have
60
a result.
60.
And then,
Was das so
and
gemacht?
then 86.
Reload? Ich muss einmal auf diesen grünen Pfeil.
Price is on tops, and Razma is on 220.
I need
The
to
longest
check out.
delay between a setup shot
Yeah.
and a championship dart that I can ever remember. The mood has changed back in the room. It's all gone a bit focused again all of a sudden.
Oh, Razma knows he needs to apply some pressure. 2 treble visit. And the match
100.
darts are the hardest, but Gerwyn Price in on 40 to complete a fine day's work. Still not there. Double 15. Comes to this side of the board. Now then, is he just start to wilt slightly? Maybe. Still
10.
not over the line.
I hate to say it, Mark. 5 match starts missed. I hope he's not going to break the record of Rob Cross in that semi-final, which was 12. Whether that's a record or not, we'll have to check. But 120 to stay in it.
Unlucky.
I think Price just wants to get this rid of.
41.
Surely this occasion. I want to see this go inside, Paul, but this
Game
time
shot
he's on
and the
button.
championship.
No celebrations
Gerwyn
with Gerwyn
Price.
Price, but a fine day's work. He got a bye in the opening round. He got a lot of luck in the semi-final, but he gets by Madars Razma by 8 legs to 4. Congratulations to Madars Razma. He's had a great run, his 3rd appearance in a final. Unfortunately, it's the 3rd time he's come up short. But Gerwyn Price wins again, and he's on the verge, if he wins again tomorrow, going back to world number 1. And he's now chatting to Dan Dawson.
101 average, Gezi. 101. Look, you can see it on the board there. This little thing. Remember how these work?
Yeah, well, they wasn't working for a little bit. The most vital point of the game, but yeah.
Look, getting over the line there when Madars was mounting something of a fight back. Were you getting any memories of the semi-final at all?
Exactly that. I'm like thinking about the Rob Cross game, and I'm like 7-1 up, 6-2 down, I win. 7-1 up, can I lose? I was like, nah. And then he's coming back. But yeah, I got lucky in the semis, but you need a little bit of luck now and again to win any tournament. And yeah, I got lucky in this one. But most of the day I played all right.
Yeah, I mean, you had a great game against Ted Everts. That looked really quality. It wasn't on the streaming board. I mean, how close was that one?
Yeah, it was really close. I mean, obviously 6-5, so we couldn't get any closer. But he was playing brilliant. He was hitting some big scores. I was putting him under pressure. Then he'd take it out, and the same on my legs. But yeah, I think I sort of played really well on the last leg when it's needed.
I've got to ask you again, the Rob Cross game, I'm trying to think of another game like it. It was you must have thought that was gone because he was playing too well.
I thought I lost 6-2.
It was you, was it?
Yeah, and then I have one more leg and I was like, I might be able to win this one. But I didn't think I was going to win. Just every leg as it comes and see how it goes. And obviously Rob missed loads of doubles and give me chances. But I've done that to players in the past as well. And I've gone on and lost. But luckily this time it worked out for me and I've gone on and won.
Look, how's the hand for a start? It looks all right.
Well, it looks quite swollen, but yeah, I mean, as you can see, sometimes I'll hit some good scores and then I'll have a couple of wild ones. It's just because I'm thinking too much about it and I know my hand, it's not 100%, but it's pain-free, but it's a little bit stiff now and again. But if I can win Pro Tours, it's not too bad.
Well, it certainly isn't. That's a 25th PDC title for you. You've reached a quarter of a century. I mean, when you started, did you ever think you'd get to this sort of where you're picking them up over and over and over again?
No, obviously not. I just wanted to, obviously I wanted to win tournaments, but I never thought I'd get up as high as I have and do as well as I've done. But as time goes on, the more confident you get, then you believe that you can win anything. And every one of these I come to, every Premier League, every TV event, I think I'm going to win. It's not always as easy as that, but that's the mentality I am now. But at the beginning, no, I never thought I'd be where I am.
Well, look, with the hand, which you've obviously been struggling with a bit, it's still causing you a few issues. A lot of top players have given this a swerve this weekend with the location and everything else. Why have you decided to come here? Is it the fact you can win 24 grand?
Well, obviously I want to try and win some ranking points, pick up some money, and I've missed the last 3 ranking events. I missed the European, I missed 2 last time in Barnsley. I was out here last night doing an exhibition anyway, so I may as well just stay here and do it. I know. I can't keep missing loads of ranking, and these are vital, especially playing Premier League week in, week out, and this will give me confidence now going into next week. I know I'm not 100%, but I'm getting there, and the more I can play in these, and especially winning them, then the better for me.
So do you actually think that coming here this weekend, it'll help you steal a bit of a march on the likes of Clayton, Peter Wright, who aren't here this weekend?
100%, because that's why they've had the march on me. I haven't played darts I haven't been able to practice for like 2.5, 3 weeks, really. I've just been turning up the Premier League and seeing how they go, and now I can put a little bit more practice in, come to these and play half decent. I played pretty well in a couple of games, but against Rob Cross I was rubbish. I thought I was rubbish in that game, but it weren't too bad. And the first game of the day, which was a bit edgy, that was a bit dodgy as well. But yeah, I need to come to these to keep that sharpness and to keep me on my game. Otherwise, the last couple of Premier Leagues I've been way under par, but that's part and parcel of my hand as well.
Well, look, Gerwyn Price, the world number 2. If he comes back tomorrow and wins,
world
number
number 1.
Number 1. There it is, world number 1. £12,000 on offer tomorrow. We should have the full 128-man field, so you won't get a bye if that's the case in round 1. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Them's the breaks. An astonishing day of darts. 2 9-darters, one on the live stream with Barney. Jose de Souza hitting another one. One of the most ridiculous games you'll ever see between this man and Rob Cross in the semi-finals, and ultimately a 25th title for the Iceman Gerwyn Price. Well done, Gezi.